Happy wife, happy life, a society destroying a lie. You've probably heard that line many times being said over the years worldwide, mostly by comedians. And when you think about it, it is so far from the truth and oftentimes completely degrades the authority and guidance of man in general, leaving him, the man, in the end being left by the woman, due to great lack of respect, which has of course a very tremendous destructive outcome for the family unit, so man, woman and child or children, but also for society as a whole. It is a very subtle, slow process that almost no one actually realizes that it's going on until it's too late. It's also a line which is not easily explainable, so it takes a little bit of digging to fully understand what is going on. You have to understand that man and woman represent different energies, male and female, yin and yang. And they both inherit each other's energies in their bodies as well. So a man also has female energy and a woman has male energy inside her. So all the talk about man and woman being equal is complete bullshit and a waste of time, because man and woman have different qualities to begin with. Men can do things that women will never be able to do so, and vice versa. So once again, all this equal talk is a waste of time to begin with. In this video today though, it's all about happy wife, happy life, right? So if you are a man watching, it means it's not about you and never will be. According to that line, it's all about her well-being, her emotional state, what she thinks, how she wants to respond to the world, and her plans for the future. You are totally out of the picture, because society as a whole also puts great emphasis on her well-being. It's about her. The line already indicates it. Happy wife, happy life. There is not a single word, not a single thing pointing, hinting about the guy, about the man, about the male figure in that unit, that relationship. You do not matter, regardless what you do, regardless what you might be sacrificing for a woman or for a woman in general or for society as a whole. It doesn't matter. You are totally out of the point. It is her alone, her well-being, her emotional state, what she's right now thinking. And once again, emotions with women, they change all the time. She might be fully into you at one point. 6 months later, she is completely not interested in you anymore. Another 5 months later, she's fully interested in you again. With women, it's all these emotional changes, also because of hormonal changes going on in the body. Especially, for example, if they become pregnant, if you become intimate with her, if you share a lot of details with women in general, they are not like men, being able to objectively see things for what they are, but they take everything personal. Everything is about her. And as I explained in my last video already, she has basically in her mind the right to think like that, because she is the prize. She is the princess. She's 5 years of age. For 15 plus years, so regardless if a woman is 38, 45, whatever, that's by 15 plus years, right? She thinks she is the prize. She doesn't have to evolve. She doesn't have to self-reflect. She doesn't have to do much actually, because she is the prize. The prize is just sitting still and doesn't have to do anything until the prize is basically claimed by one that she perceives as being worthy. And that aspect of being worthy also changes throughout the years. What you might have done in the beginning that made her entire world is later on as seen as just nothing. It's just something that is presented to her as the bare minimum. Even though she might be the case, she might be the bare minimum actually. And you are the one who deserves way better, because you have evolved. You have to provide something, you have to do something in order to be recognized, not just by men in general, the pack hierarchy and stuff like that, but also by society. If you can't provide anything, if you don't have anything to offer as a man, Society will ignore you. You're not someone of status. You're not someone of power. You're not someone of being seen as reliable, of someone that someone else might be able to trust. Because you are a man. You are expected to do all these things. You are expected, once again, as a man, if you fail in life, that you get up and get your shit basically going quickly. There's no pressure on women. Once again, she thinks she's the prize. And we are talking about immature women here, so girls playing women. Because a real woman, completely think differently. They know what they are capable of. They know what they are about to offer, for example, in a relationship. They themselves actually also went through evolving processes like men do. Immature little brats, girls playing women, never think in those categories. Immature little women, girls playing women. They deceive, lie, manipulate, victimize themselves, cheat, do all sorts of things in order to be in a happy state all the time, to run away from their problems. And because of all the wrongdoings that I've just mentioned, they have a lot of energetic problems inside their bodies. And not just the body, but the auric field and the soul. There's a lot of emotional damage done over the years with these women. And I refer now as more to the topic of women, because all the time saying girls playing women is a little bit annoying, and you should know what I'm referring to, because sooner or later I will be making a complete video in itself about what is a man and what is a real woman, and then everything should be completely basically settled. So these women do not even think in the category of evolving, becoming a better version of themselves. Nothing like that. They manipulate their environment, they manipulate everything around them to be happy. Because once again, society also implicates that she's not just the prize, but happy wife, happy life. So if she's happy, then only then can you as a guy, as a male figure, basically experience a harmonious life. A life of peace and silence. Only because of her, because she is happy. Not of you. If you're happy or unhappy, that doesn't matter. It's all, once again, about her, not you. Even though men in general, for example, are the main reason that society keeps running, that society is actually evolving, not just on the technological part, but also on the spiritual part. Because they have to evolve, they have to do something, they have to fix problems. Because when a problem occurs, whatever it is, if it's for example a relationship problem, an emotional problem, a technical problem, any kind of problem, a problem basically means there's disharmony, something is not working, something is not moving from A to B. Energy is, for example, not flowing. Water is not flowing through a pipe because the pipe is, for example, broken down. So something is not working, there's disharmony. Men are on large problem solvers. Yeah? You see a problem, you identify the problem, you think of the problem, you solve the problem quickly, without talking, without wasting any time. You're getting the resources that you need because of the knowledge that you have the right tools, the right equipment, the right people around you, and you get shit done quick. So energy flows again, water flows from A to B. In a relationship, arguments have been settled because the problems have been identified and talked through quickly with preciseness, basically. Unlike women, who most of the time just want to talk through problems. It doesn't matter if the problem in the end gets solved or not. She wants to be listened to. And you might waste a lot of time listening to that. She might tell you certain things why a computer might not be working, even though it's absolutely not the case. The relationship might not be working because she is full of trouble herself and she doesn't want those problems to be fixed, because that would destroy the illusion of paying the price. If women en masse would be the price as said, the price wouldn't lose their value over time. A woman like that would contribute to, when it comes to a relationship, to the man's life tremendously. She would take all his emotional stress away, all his problems, the stress at work, the stress of, for example, becoming a better version of himself, of being able to provide, of him being able to make more money, of him just being able to relax and just be. She would take all those problems away. If they two lived together, she would make sure that he almost has nothing to do in the household. She would do all the things that what we, for example, think of, yeah, what women do in the household. She would be able to make breakfast, lunch, dinner. Everything is all the time ready. All the time everything's cleaned. All the time everything's organized. All the time she is herself working out. She herself looks great every day. Day after day, every day. She herself evolves all the time. She herself reads books, listens to podcasts, watch, I don't know, YouTube videos, for cooking advice, to better themselves, to identify their problems, and therefore taking huge loads of stress levels, regardless what they might be, off their man, so that he is represented in a great way. Because he doesn't have to now, for whatever reason the job might be, come home, basically, if they already have a family, children or not, or if they're just living together, and then have to fight for additional problems. There are men out there who do a dangerous task. They have a very dangerous job that if they are not fully concentrated, make a mistake, it might cost them their life. And they have to go home and pretend that she is doing way more horrendous tasks than him. He has to bow down, cannot give advice, cannot guide her in the direction, for example, that would benefit both of them because he's a problem solver. Most men are problem solvers. We're talking about men, not little boys playing men and playing stupid games, playing with emotions of girls and then doing blah, 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 and then leaving, having the next one and not getting shit done, not being able to provide, not being able to look for themselves, not having any style, not having any honor, not having anything basically going for themselves, rather than just wasting time. In all of my videos, I've always mentioned it. You have to know who you are. People who don't know who they are wasting time, are time wasters. They don't believe in themselves, because how can you believe in yourself if you don't know who you are? So you don't know your strength, so you don't know your weaknesses. Nothing. You're just moving from A to B, wasting a lot of time. If that's the life that most people want to live, then so be it. But those people have no, I would say they aren't allowed, they have no right to be angry at people who are successful, at people who have something going for them, at people who actually achieve things in life, regardless how much time it's spent. Some people only have to do XYZ for a year or two and are successful. Some people do the same shit for 5 years, then they are successful. While other people waste their entire lives gossiping about other people's success because they themselves are too dumb and stupid to get shit going. Because they don't want to look into the mirror and actually realize and identify, because that would crack the illusion for themselves. They are, for example, the problem. They are the time wasters. They are the emotional morons who only bring drama, nonsense, and bullshittery into any kind of relationship, friendship, engagement with the other gender, for example. They are the main reason for everything else crumbling down in their life. And if they have a false identity, they of course are going to victimize themselves, these types of women and these types of guys playing men, little boys playing men. Weak men are very, very dangerous. I've mentioned it in a few videos already, that I will be also highlighting once again in the video, what is a real man, and then I will have some subcategories to identify who's who. Men are, once again, problem solvers. That means They want to fix the problems as quickly as possible in order to enjoy harmony once more. Harmony can be described as peace and silence because something is going from A to B. Something is simply working. Problems have been identified, problems have been fixed. The outcome is harmony. So they do something not just for themselves, a strong body, a strong soul, in order to endure pain, emotional pain, stress levels, having to deal with certain people, maybe at work, maybe they have to do enormous physical activity to overcome their limitations in order to achieve even higher levels of profound inner harmony, or money, for example, as well. They fix problems, so something that is fixed can be seen in the external world. So society as a whole basically sees, okay, they have fixed the cars, they have fixed the streets, everything is working. So they want, through those types of actions, also validation. They want to be respected for what they're doing. And that is totally okay that you want some validation for what you're doing, be it man or woman. But men do not get that from society, and especially from women. Girls playing women. You can do all kinds of things. You can sacrifice even your entire life. You will not be respected by someone who, for example, doesn't even know who she is. If she doesn't respect herself, if she doesn't love herself, she is basically someone prone to be guided or misguided by friends, family, her surroundings, because her surroundings basically imitate her energy field. That's why she has those people around them. That's why everyone has those people around themselves, for example. You, for example, the people that you have in your life, you are responsible for. Your energy signature basically determines the people that come into your life. So if your life is full of chaos, that usually also means you are on the inside full of chaos. That chaos also might manifest into the outside world, like how is your apartment organized, disorganized, your house organized, disorganized. Do you have to clean everything up just because people are coming over, or are you all the time once more organized? People who are happy on the inside, that happiness usually portrays on the outside as well. Harmony inside reflects on the outside. People who have something going for themselves, who have high standards, therefore are always protected by low quality outcomes. They don't even experience these misjudgments, these errors in life, because their high qualities already protect them to begin with. Like I say, for example, wise people do not have to do certain experiences because they know they won't benefit from it regardless the polarity. Life experience does not equal wisdom. Life experience is just basically you have spent a lot of time through trial and error and found your way eventually. Yeah? So you have to do those things because you are not wise to begin with. If you were wise, there would be a complete different way, a complete different outcome, because you wouldn't even in the first place have gone through certain decisions that will lead to certain outcomes. You will lead your life differently, therefore have different outcomes. You are a man, and therefore, because you realize that society basically only validates women on large, and because of video games, toxic masculinity, the TV, media, woke mentality, it's again toxic masculinity and all kinds of stuff, man cannot be man. So a high top tier man, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to have a lot of money. You can be a top tier guy before you are even the one with a lot of money. Because I've said that many times, high value man basically means oftentimes it completely contradicts success. Yet still these men become successful in the external world as well, meaning money. Because high value usually, not just usually, actually every single time means you're close to yourself. You're closer to the truth. You're speaking the truth. Oh, the truth could actually hurt your image, hurt your company, hurt whatever is going on, the deals that you want to do. I will be also making a video about that topic, modern slavery. Be brand safe, please. Because in the end, you have to basically play some false games, in order to get certain deals done to make more money. That's for a lot of people the case. And they, of course, therefore hate people like myself and others who do not do that types of bullshit, stay true to themselves, and make it in life. That's a huge bummer for these people. Because they realize, hey, there is someone who's, for example, 2, 3, 4 decades younger than them, hasn't done the same stupid decisions they have done, has a completely different outcome, therefore, and succeeds in life at a faster rate, both spiritual and physical, so once again, money-wise, materialistic-wise, than them. And they have wasted all life long because they want to fit in. They are too weak, for example, to voice their opinion. And I'm explaining all this in such great detail because you have to now again, once again, understand men are not appreciated on public, on the public image. There's no validation for what they're doing. All the electricity workers, all the fire workers, all the ones who are constructing, the trash man, every basic job that has huge impact on society, also people who do entertainment, everything that men do, they do not get appreciated for. So you as a high or becoming top tier guy, you identify that and you basically create your own life, your own game, everything on your terms, which goes to the path of higher value. You do not care what society tells you, inflicts on you, wants you to do, what your family wants you to do, what your friends want you to do, the co-workers, the societal image, what you should have accomplished already by a certain age, by a certain time, by the location, the geographic location where you live in, all sorts of things. You create your own game to your own rules and you walk in your own mindset. Therefore, by doing and doing and doing, you create success for yourself in the beginning, which then amplifies and becomes success in the outside world. And then suddenly people are watching at those individuals and they envy them greatly. They're so jealous of these guys because these guys dictate the game. These guys are on the very top. These guys always get the attention, also from the ladies. You are, I am, and many other, the ladies' man. We get the attention. We get the success. We get the recognition. We don't even have to do much. We're basically getting paid to just exist because we started early on to play our own games. And to play these own games means you are very confident in yourself. Because if you weren't, if you didn't know who you are, you can't play your game. Because you will always basically crumble to the opinion of other people. Like paper, there's wind coming here, there's wind coming here, but then the paper all the time goes like left and right and doesn't know where to look even. Cannot even have the ability to hold themselves, to anchor themselves. And men mostly can do that because they have to fix themselves. For example, if something is going wrong in their work, in their relationship, money-wise, health-wise, all sorts of things, they have to quickly identify and fix the problems. Because for a man, the reality check is like this, quickly. Now get up. Don't cry and get up. For a woman, it's a complete different story. For girls playing women, you can see them on the internet, on podcasts, and all sorts of things, their own YouTube videos, talking bullshit left and right. And whatever advice they are getting, it goes in here and goes out here. And the reality check for these types of ladies comes 10, 15 years later, when they're getting older. And in those times, the time frame of, for example, 15 years. Let's just stay with the number 15, because 15 plus years from the age of 5 to 20 and whatever, to now again 15 years. They are not able to maintain relationships. They are not able to maintain a stable emotional connection, not just to themselves, but also with their, for example, significant other. Because they never had the idea to even look inside, to fix something, because they are perceived, not just by society, once again, and themselves as the prize. And I've explained it, and I'm gonna explain it once more. If she was fully the prize, as basically said, that would mean the value of her wouldn't be gone in 10-15 years, because she would be doing all those things that I've mentioned prior. All those 10-15 years plus. For the following 10-15 years, she would be doing that. And therefore, because she's cooperative with the man, because she is feminine all the time, because she is listening, because she is sucking him dry every day, because she is fully believing in the guidance of him, because she is able to realize, depending with whom she is, what kind of caliber that man is. She can trust, because she knows herself fully, 100%. And that is very rare, because a lot of girls playing women, immature little brats, promiscuous women, do not have that type of mindset. They don't want to submit. They don't want to cook. They can't even cook 5 recipes. So someone like myself who can cook 50 different recipes, why would I need a woman? Someone like myself who organizes everything to the most minor detail, like a pro. And I know what I have to do in order to accomplish ABC, and then I have to, I have to buy certain things in advance, and I have to create certain things here, and then I have to go there, and I have to do this business here. I don't know. I don't want to go too much into detail about myself. I'm able to experience harmony, peace, and silence on a daily basis for many years already. How many people on this planet can experience something like that? They maybe have lots of money, way more money than me, 20 times the money than myself. There's this harmony day after day, week after week, month after month, for 10 years plus. So of course people like that are jealous of all those who have their shit going, and they see the success rate. And success, oh, skyrocketed at one point. It skyrockets. It skyrockets at one point. While their life is still, there's nothing going on. That's why they are gossiping about other people's life, because they are unsuccessful in life. They are insignificant because of their own choices. I've said that once already, and I'm going to say it here again. People are insignificant, not because I say so. They are insignificant through their own choices taken in life. They've listened to the wrong people. They have done the wrong things. They didn't take action when they should have. They did play some false games. They did lie, cheat, manipulate, steal time, resources, destroy character. Didn't want to evolve because it's painful. It's painful not just to realize that someone is a waste of time and a failure in life. It's also painful to go through the process of healing, of working out every day. Second day, of undergoing meditation, of questioning yourself. All those things that successful people do and basically highlight on a daily basis that unsuccessful people aren't able to accomplish. They can maybe see what someone is doing and are unable to do it, to mimic it. Even that, they are unable to do so because they are not intelligent to begin with. They are of low IQ. And low IQ people think they are of high IQ, but their actions quickly highlight They're disastrous outcomes in life because they are not wise to begin with. And unfortunately, because society has been telling that for many, many decades already, because after all, this is an agenda that is being pushed. It's also being pushed by those that make those podcasts. They want to have a certain outcome in society in just a few years. And I've greatly highlighted that in many, many videos. Always question everything and wonder why certain things are playing out, for example, just right now. Why didn't they play out 20 years ago? Why didn't they play out 5 years ago? Why is everything playing out now? Why did everything start with 2012? Someone who knows who they are is able to question those things and is able to see through the illusions of propaganda and certain agendas, because they have just not spent time with themselves, but also with the environment, and quickly identify the problems. Women en masse do not do that because they are the prize. There's nothing to think about. They think they just need to look sexy. Their happiness is the most important thing. That's why so many people say women sacrifice their family for their happiness, while men sacrifice their happiness for their family. So there's a lot of men actually out there in relationships completely miserable just to make sure that she's happy. When I'm asking myself, then why are those guys not just quitting? It back then already pissed me off greatly when I've seen so many guys that I've been playing computer games with, abandoning their friends, abandoning all the gaming time, be it computer, be it outside, soccer, basketball, whatever, to only be sucked in basically by an promiscuous girl that has no interest in seriously dating that guy, to have a full-blown relationship even 20 years later. And these ladies usually only have that type of chance, so I have to say it in such a way, unfortunately, these loser quality girls can only play so many guys for one reason. The guy wants to have, in many cases, what his parents had or still have. You meet a girl, a young age, maybe it's the first girlfriend, to be honest, and you're still with her together 3-4 decades later. And therefore, they want to make things work. They want to talk, even though they shouldn't be talking. They want to compromise, even though they should have already left her. They want to give their extra time, extra presence, extra resources, even though, once again, you should have left already, mostly years ago, because of the simple idea of being together forever. And these ladies destroy that idea, that the first girlfriend will be the only girlfriend. And therefore, they're able to play with the guy. And because of being able to play with someone, there is later on disrespect. Because I've explained it already, the man becomes boring, regardless who you are. And social media, the society as a whole, highlights that heavily. Yeah? You can be an extraordinary man, or on the way of becoming one. Yeah? The internet will tell you that you are just normal, mediocre, boring. There's nothing going on for you, basically. And promiscuous women that have nothing going on for themselves, who are easily bored with their own life, therefore they have to constantly go out and chat and dance and play with emotions and blah blah blah, they are the prize. Even though they are boring and not worthy of a title to be the prize, to call themselves the prize. Once more, it's happy wife, happy life, not anything about happy man. So, once again, it's not happy wife, happy life. It's a bullshit statement, completely false, completely going into the wrong direction, because we do not have mature and wise women We have immature, little, promiscuous, little brats, girls playing women, who want to have all the perks and benefits of an actual woman, an actual housewife, an actual queen, an actual goddess. Yeah? That men seek, that men want to claim, that men want to provide for, that men want to protect, that men want to correct her path if necessary. On large, we do not have that right now. That's why I said in my last video, most women are promiscuous little brats, and most is the minimum of 51% for all the stupid people who don't understand words in general. When I say it's minimum of 51%, that can also mean that 75% of all women who are able, for example, to date above the age of 18 and 21 are promiscuous right now in these times. 75% could be 52%. And for all the ladies, for example, that say, but there's also men who are promiscuous, who all do these things. First and foremost, men on large do not claim to be more mature and wiser at a younger age than women do. And I've explained that already as well. There's always that explanation reference, because men have to evolve. Men have a harsh reality check, not women. Men have to fix themselves quickly, or they will be in tremendous problems. Women do not have to do that. They can just victimize themselves. Women sometimes date for fun, destroying a guy's heart, destroying the idea that his first girlfriend will be the only one. Women should only date if they are very serious. Women, I can also say that, just a quick punchline for any successful guy, women should pay for the date, not the guy. Eliminate all the opponents of yours that you don't even know about. She has to pay for everything. She has to have the qualities that you're looking for. She has to prove herself to you, not the other way around. Because you have proven to yourself, your family, and society that you're capable of something. Otherwise, you wouldn't get any attention from women. Why should they pay attention to losers? So that's my take on the statement, happy wife, happy life. A complete bullshit line. So far from the truth, so actually misleading and misguiding lots of little girls right now, who later on will only find out that they are unable to maintain relationships, they are unable to find a good man, because through society and the internet, and also have friends who are very, very jealous, because what usually is going on in relationships, quickly engagement, quick marriage, quick children. So trapping guys through children. And those who do not do that, those women who don't do something like that, who are together with someone for 2-3 decades, they're not engaged, they're not married, they might have children, they might have not. You can imagine the jealousy of that couple, surrounding that couple. Usually a woman like that, a high quality woman, a high value woman, has already eliminated all those promiscuous, stupid, so-called friends and best friend, the bestie, Because if a top guy comes into the play, into the side, that means less time to be spent with the bestie, right? So something to think about. More in future videos, more detailed about, once again, what is a man from the perspective, an objective perspective throughout the centuries, because the image of what is a man, what is a good-looking man, what is a woman, what is a good-looking woman has always been changing. And if you watch back time, it was mostly about nonsense. And this needs to be put into a better, higher perspective for now and also for the future, an objective perspective, a universal perspective, basically, what the ideal man, the ideal woman is. in an ideal society. That to think about for you, and if you have any ideas, you can eventually write them down, or you wait for my videos to be seen in the future. And as always, have the courage to be yourself. It's like 9 p.m. and totally hot, like I'm sweating already just by sitting. Incredible. I need to do something about it in the future.